Hi, everyone. Sorry, I was having computer glitch issues. Oh my God, Deborah's in a full jacket, or it looks like a jacket. It's good to see everyone. I'll show you all your neighbors. They're unscathed. And the fitness center is standing.
Good, good.
I am so sorry for the delay. All right, let me do one more thing and then we'll get started. I was like so proud of myself. I thought I was ahead of schedule today. I'll tell you in a sec. All right, everybody see okay? Okay. All right, begin. We match colors.
Yes, you did.
So, how are you?
Good.
Grateful. It's an interesting balance. I don't know about you, but my struggle has been the balance between gratitude and just the,
Concern.
the concern,
Yeah.
the empathy, the part, you just want to help, all. The disparity between being intact and losing everything is real. And it's interesting timing with the autumn equinox. So last weekend, it's crazy. A week ago yesterday, I flew back from attending a restorative yoga workshop at Omega Institute. And the focus was on the fall reset and the autumn equinox and connecting with Mother Nature and the ground. And it's hard to not get mad at her when you see her power. But
She gave us good weather.
Yeah, it was good weather afterwards.
It's really helpful, drying everything out, helping people who don't have power.
Yes.
Not so bad.
And those of us that are intact, that we have the power, that we have the strength, that we have the ability to help others. However that is, even if it's just sending your good energy out to them, even if physically you're not able to, help. So let's, and this is an interesting time for our nervous system. So however you were, were during the storm, our nervous system definitely feels all that energy. So if you're not comfortable closing your eyes today, if you're not comfortable at any point, do whatever feels good for you. Our practice, I know yesterday I went to a class at the studio, where I teach, and the shedding, you don't even realize how much stress is in the body until you invite your yoga practice in. So today is just going to be about nourishing, doing what feels good, trying to regulate or modulate our nervous system again. So really, ideally, we can just be available, not only to ourselves, but to those around us, because that's how we can get through this. So let's just take a few moments to tune in. Again, eyes closed or eyes open, whatever's comfortable for you. Hands on the knees. Take a deep inhale. Sigh it out. Actually, I'm going to invite everyone. I'm going to switch up and have everyone lie on their backs and grab your blocks. Bring the soles of your feet together, butterfly your knees out, but then have the blocks come under the thighs to support so that you're not opening your hips too much. And
And just slowly then come onto your backs. And start with your hands on your belly. And might be more comfortable here than choosing eyes open or eyes closed. And all about feeling your breath. Because the breath is something that we can be grateful for. So just breathe as deeply or as naturally as you want, whichever feels good. At any point, feel free to sigh out a breath, out through your mouth. See if you can invite a deeper breath in to really feel and hear the breath or the breath of your neighbor. Feel the rise and fall of your belly. Begin to notice the sounds around. Notice how the body feels against the surface. Start to connect with areas of the body, if areas are clenching, muscles are clenching. With each breath, see if you can just invite in gratitude. Identify what you're grateful for. Maybe bring to mind person, people, and one at a time, offer them your gratitude. Who are the people in your life that you're grateful for? Or if it's easier to think of your blessings. Begin to notice the support of the ground that's meeting your body. Extend your blessings to the earth beneath us. As much as we were a witness to the destruction, there's also the energy that can help ground us, reground us, pull us back to feeling more stable. To help settle our nervous system. Allow the shoulders to move away from the ears. Allow the shoulder blades to rest against the mat. Slowly begin to move the arms out to the side, forming goalpost arms, or actually let's interlace our fingers and bring the hands behind our head, letting the elbows come out to the mat. Gently pressing the elbows into the mat a little bit to help open across the chest. Deepen the inhale, feel it move into the lungs, the chest. As you exhale, feel the breath move down to the low belly. Inhale deeply, opening up across the heart. And exhale, moving the breath into the low belly. One more deep inhale. And full exhale. And then separate the hands, sliding the elbows out, now forming cactus or goalpost arms. Pressing the backs of the arms into the floor a little bit. And noticing how that helps to open up the chest just a little bit more. You might notice a slight curve in the middle of the back. See if you can press the middle of the back into the mat as you press the backs of the arms into the mat. Deep breath. Inhale, side out. Another inhale. And then lowering the hands alongside the body, move the blocks out of the way and bring the knees together. Bring the feet to the mat and walk your feet out, heel toe your feet out as wide as your mat and let your knees fall together. Inhale, float the arms overhead. Exhale, lower the arms alongside the body. Inhale, float the arms overhead. And exhale, lowering the arms alongside. One more time. Inhale, floating the arms overhead. And exhale, lowering the arms. Separate the knees. Windshield wiper the knees over to the right. And then over to the left. Over to the right and keep them there. Float the left arm overhead. Try and glide that left shoulder blade under a little bit to help the left side get long. And that right hand can rest maybe on the right thigh. Maybe if you're already feeling some openness, you can lift that right foot, rest it on top of that left thigh. Breathe into that whole left side, opening up that left side. Also stretching our psoas muscle on this left side. The psoas muscle being the big muscle that connects our spine to our legs. It's the headquarters for our nervous system. It's our message system to the brain, our fight and flight mode. And then go ahead and lower that left arm, release that right foot off the leg. Bring the knees back through center, pause. When they get to center, take a full breath, inhale. And then exhale, lower the knees to the left. Float the right arm overhead. Glide that right shoulder blade under, letting that right side get long. So already we're starting to stretch this right side. The psoas muscle includes your hip flexor. So this whole right side, opening the psoas muscle up, letting it get some air, letting it breathe. If you did so on the other side, lifting that left foot, resting it on the right thigh. One more full inhale, really breathing into the right side body, feeling the breath fill up the rib cage. And then release that left leg, lower that right arm down. Bring the knees back to center, hug them into the chest. Rock from side to side. Bring the forehead up to the knees. Breathe into the back of the neck. On your inhale, stretch the legs out onto your mat. Take the arms overhead. Point the toes. Get really long. Bring the arms alongside and bring the toes back towards you, flexing the feet. Push through your heels. Inhale, float the arms overhead and point the toes. Exhale, arms float down, draw the toes towards you, flexing the feet. One more time. Get really long. And then exhale, draw the knees into the chest. Draw the forehead up to the knees again. And relax the head down, separate the knees. So they're in line with your armpits, then turn your feet up to the ceiling, happy baby. Since we're still warming up, just wrap the hands around your calves and try and draw the knees down. Flex the feet. So just getting into the hips a little bit and flattening the back against the mat. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side. And then drawing the knees back into the chest. Take the hands underneath the knees. Begin to rock forward and back. Bringing yourself up to a seat, crossing the legs, finding Sukhasana. Inhale, float the arms overhead, palms touch, bring the hands down to heart center. Just close your eyes for a moment, set an intention for your practice. Anything from those thoughts that you cultivated of gratitude and blessings. And then inhale, float the arms overhead, and exhale, twist to the right. Taking the right hand behind the back, left hand maybe resting on the knee so that you can ground down through both sits bones and lengthen the spine on your inhale as you move into the twist on your exhale. So wringing out our intestines also helps our nervous system. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Turn the head just a little bit more on your next inhale, looking over that right shoulder. And exhale it out. And then inhale, float the arms overhead, come through center, taking the twist to the other side. Breathe in, lengthening the spine. Moving into the twist gradually. Getting a little stretch for the neck. Letting the twist just happen gradually. Not forcing, not muscling our way through it. Breathe in. Exhale it out. And then inhale, float the arms up and bring the hands to the knees. Exhale as you come into cat pose, seated cat. And then inhale, lengthen, gaze looks up. And exhale, rounding the spine, tuck chin to chest. Inhale, lifting, lengthening up. And exhale, round the spine.
And then come to neutral. Grab your block, coming to hero's pose. Bring the block so you've got it wide like this, placing it in between your ankles. If you need to stack 2 blocks, if the knees are tight, hips are tight, bring your ankles on either side of the block. Bring your seat to the block. See if you can draw your knees toward one another. Lengthening the spine, inhale, float the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, turn the palms to the ceiling and lengthen. Breathe in, breathe out. Draw the belly in. Wrap the ribs around the belly. So not sticking the ribs out, but drawing them in, lengthening. One more inhale, soften shoulders, and then exhale, bring the hands behind your back, interlace the fingers, extend the arms, lower chin toward chest, and lift the chest. Opening across the collarbone. Breathe in, draw the belly in, breathe out. Breathe in, maybe lift the arms just a little bit more. Listening to the words, this chant, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Inhale, float the arms overhead, bend the right elbow. Grab a hold of that right elbow with the left hand. Lift the elbows back, drawing the right fingertips down the small part of the back. Lengthen the spine. Feeling the opening in the shoulders. Inhale, float the arms up, and then drop the left hand down, reaching right hand for left elbow. Draw the belly in. Notice your sides. The difference, one side tighter than the other. Inhale, float the arms up, and then bring them down, coming to tabletop. You can move the block out of the way. Finding tabletop, draw the belly in, and inhale, coming into cow pose. And exhale, draw the belly in, round the spine, tuck the tailbone, cat pose. Inhale through to cow. And exhale into cat. And then come back to neutral, make some big circles, rock the shoulders forward, past the wrists, take the hips over to the right, back by the heels. Big circle around. Making this as organic as you need it to be. So really exploring here. If there's a side that needs it a little bit more, linger there. Maybe rock forward. It feels good to fall down onto the thighs for a little modification of upward dog. It feels good to push the seat to the heels in between sides. Make sure you reverse the circle. And breathing in and out as you move. And finishing up the side that you're on, come back to neutral and move through 2 more cow and cats. Inhale and cow. And exhale in cat. We inhale when we do a chest opener to help that space to open. And exhale into cat.
And then come back to neutral, tuck your toes under, push your seat to your heels. Get nice and long here. Drop the head in between the arms. Really feel that extension. Separate the toes. So all 10 toes are making contact with the mat. And then inhale, rock forward, lift the knees, find plank. Breathe here, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, and then on your exhale, drop the left knee down. Roll onto where you plant the right foot. Lift the right arm, coming to supported side plank. Reach through the right fingertips. Breathe in. Breathe out. Another inhale, and then exhale, lowering that right hand down, coming back to tabletop, and then find plank. And then we'll drop the right knee down, roll onto that left foot, lift the left arm. Supported side plank on this side. Press into that left foot. Reach through the left fingertips. Opening across the heart space, that left hip lifting up. Inhale and then exhale, left hand down. Come back to plank, full inhale. And on your exhale, lift your hips, finding downward facing dog. Pedaling out your dog. Dropping one heel and then the other. Draw the belly in. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Lower the knees. Hug the elbows in as you lower chin and chest down. Inhale, slide forward on the belly. Hug the elbows into your sides as we set up for cobra. Press into the tops of your feet. Hands by your lowest set of ribs. Press into the tops of your feet so you feel your kneecaps lifting off the mat. And then on an inhale, lengthen down through your tailbone as the upper body lifts into cobra. And exhale, lower down. Gaze looks at the mat so the neck stays long. Inhale, lift the upper body, cobra. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes under. Push your seat all the way back to your heels and then lift your hips, finding downward facing dog again. Full breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift the right leg up, hip height. Three-legged dog, rotate that right foot around. One direction, then the other direction, and then hug that knee into your chest. If you can step it all the way forward, great, or just plant it wherever it lands and then walk it forward. So you're coming into a high lunge. Modify with blocks on either side of that right foot as an option. So deepening this low lunge, we want to find a 90-degree angle with the right foot. So step that right foot forward just a little bit. Yeah. So the idea is the knee and the ankle are in line. That left leg fully extended, and now drop that left knee down, uncurl the toe, and float the arms up by the ears, Anjaneyasana. Interlace fingers behind the head, draw the elbows out, lift the chest. So lengthening up, and then finding that gentle arch in the upper back. Opening across the heart, feeling the stretch. for the shoulders, and then inhale, arms flip back up, down to the block. Shift your hips back, coming onto your heel. Flex that right foot. Blocks come to the highest, right under the shoulders. So half Hanumanasana, left hip, left knee in line. So we're not sitting back, sitting upright, and then hinging forward. Maybe the blocks come to the middle height. So maintaining the length in our spine. If it's too intense, try and keep that right leg straight without locking the knee. Draw the right hip back a little bit. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then lift back up, rock forward onto the right foot. Bring the blocks forward to frame that right foot again. Tuck the left toes under, lift to low lunge. And then we're gonna step that left foot forward about a foot and straighten both legs, finding pyramid pose. So blocks can come to the highest. Draw the right hip back, finding this half lift, and then if you want to hinge forward, try and do so, keeping in mind the lengthening of your spine. So you can lower to whatever feels good for you. Mindful to draw that right hip back. And then rebend that right knee and step that left foot back again to low lunge. Drop the left knee, uncurl that toe. Inhale, float the arms up again, Anjaneyasana. This time, bring the hands to heart center, adding a twist to the right. Opening the arms. Breathe in. So finding balance here. Pressing into the right foot, pressing into the top of the left foot. Bring the hands back to heart center, back to center, hands to blocks, and step hands, bring the blocks to the lowest. Tuck the left toes under, step the right foot back, finding plank with the blocks. Lift the hips for downward facing dog. Maybe there's more space for you to drop your heels down with your hands on the blocks. Feel that extension in the arms. One more full inhale. And then exhale, looking between your hands. Walk your feet up one footprint at a time. Inhale, lift up halfway, draw the shoulders away from the ears, draw the navel in. Inhale, float the arms up alongside, forming a T. Gaze looking at the mat, neck is long, and then inhale, lift with that flat back, float the arms overhead. Exhale, dive back down to Uttanasana. Forward fold. Let the head hang. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Maybe lift the toes up, fan them out. Feel the inner arches engage. And then lower each toe back down to the mat. They shake the head yes and no. Deep inhale, sigh it out. Bend the knees a lot. Round up to standing. Take your time. 2 full breaths to get there. Taking the head the last, finding Tadasana. Inhale, float the arms overhead, draw down gratitude and blessings to the heart. Just take a moment here to feel and hear your breath. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, float down to forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Bend your knees, plant your hands on the blocks. Step both feet back to plank. Lift the hips, downward facing dog, and then move the blocks off to the side. Inhale, lift the left leg up, hip height, coming to 3-legged dog. Rotate that foot around, getting into that ankle. Circle it the other direction. And then draw that left knee into your chest, rocking forward. Let that left foot drop wherever it lands. And then try and walk it forward, inch it forward a little bit to find your low lunge. Bend that left knee, 90-degree angle. Blocks are helpful so that you can extend that back leg a little bit more and lift the chest, opening. Full inhale, exhale, drops the right knee down, uncurl the toe. Inhale, float the arms up. Anjaneyasana, interlace the fingers behind the head. Elbows coming out wide. Lengthen the spine. And then arch the upper back. So we're not dumping into our low back. One more full inhale, and then exhale, sweep the hands down, shift the hips, bring the blocks under the shoulders at the highest, and then flex that left foot, toes pointing up, so you're resting on your heel, finding half Hanumanasana, maybe hinging forward. Try not to round into the pose, but keeping that length in the spine. It's a deep stretch for hamstring. Inhale, lift up, rocking onto that left foot, bring the blocks forward, tuck the right toes under, lift to low lunge, keep lifting the hips and step that right foot in a little bit. About a foot, and then straighten both legs. Blocks can come to the highest to come to a half lift. Draw the belly in, draw that left hip back. Pyramid pose. And once you really feel grounded, then maybe hinge, drawing the heart toward that left leg. Breathe in, breathe out. So clearing away tension, making more space in the body. Lift up halfway, rebend that left knee as you step the right foot back again. Lowering that right knee down, uncurl the toe, inhale, flip the arms up, finding Anjaneyasana again. Bring the hands to heart center, twist to the left, open the arms. Stretch them in opposite directions, fingers spread, palms facing the TV wall. Press into the left foot, press into the top of the right foot, feeling that stability. So everyone, try open your palms to the TV. There you go. Helps the shoulders rotate the right direction. One more full inhale, Then exhale, hands back to heart center. Face forward, hands to the blocks. Curl the left toes under, put the blocks at the lowest. And then lift up, step back to plank, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Either with the blocks, or you can move the blocks out of the way. And breathe here. If ever you want to come down to child's pose, do what feels good. One more full inhale. And exhale, and then look between your hands. Either lightly hop or walk your feet forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Hands to heart center, to the hips. Step the right foot back, finding warrior one. So try not to have that right foot directly behind the left, as if you're standing on 2 planks of wood. Bend that left knee. Inhale, the arms up by the ears, warrior one. Check in with this left knee that it's not, you can see your big toe. If you can't see your big toe, then you can widen your stance a little bit. Soften the shoulders. Press into the outer edge of that back foot. If you can draw the belly in, draw the ribs around the belly. Bring the hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Bow the chest and heart forward. Humble warrior. Chest, shoulders are squared with your hips. Left knee still bending. Inhale, floating back up, arms coming back up. And then exhale, lower hands down to the mat. Optional vinyasa, so come back to plank and either come right in a downward dog or lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. If you're lowering knees, chest, chin, come into cobra like we practiced before. If you're doing chaturanga, transitioning into upward dog, we all meet in downward facing dog. Move with your breath. Inhale. Exhale, tuning into what you need this morning. And then look between your hands. Either walk the feet or lightly hop the feet forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Then to the hips, a little bend in the knees. Stepping that left foot back. Find your grounding. Left toes turning about 45-degree angle. Right knee bending. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Settling in here to warrior one. So we're planting that left foot. Bending the right knee toward a 90-degree angle. Softening shoulders while still reaching up. So it's a lengthening of the arms, but a softening of the shoulders. And then interlace the hands behind your back, extending the arms. And then Lengthening as you bow forward, humble warrior. The shoulders squared with your hips. Beautiful. Breathe and really feel that grounding in the feet. The earth has you. And then inhale, lifting back up, float the arms up by the ears, and exhale, hands down to the mat, stepping back to plank. Do what feels good. If you want more heat, do another vinyasa. If you need to rest, come to child's pose or downward dog. Not worrying about what your neighbor is doing. Starting to connect with what works for you. All ending up in downward facing dog. And then everybody bend your knees, finding child's pose, separating the knees. Bringing the toes to touch. Relax the arms. If it feels better to slide a block under the forehead. If the head feels too low. Sometimes that can be a really nice support, and just connect with your breath here. So just having the toes touch in the back. Try and then breathe in and breathe out. Slowly begin to round up to sitting on your heels. Rock off onto your left hip and swing the legs out in front of you, and then separate the legs. Rock a little forward, move the flesh away from your sits bones, finding Upavista Konasana. Flexing the feet, turning toes and knees to face the ceiling. So try and maintain the legs facing upwards, float the arms up by the ears, and then begin to reach forward. Pause with each inhale. As you exhale, maybe reach forward a little bit more. So keeping that length and really pushing the thighs into the mat. And then at the point that you round, lower the hands to the mat. Soften the gaze. Inhale and exhale. Let's invite the mantra I am into our breath. So on your inhale, silently say I. On your exhale, am. In Sanskrit, it would be Sat Nam. Last round of breath here. Inhale. Continue to feel the knees and toes facing the ceiling, the legs pressing into the earth. Inhale to lift up. Inhale, float the arms up. And then twist to the right.
So the chest is looking over the right leg, and then begin to hinge forward. Lower the hands, bend the elbows maybe to draw the chest toward the knee. Still keeping the integrity of the knees and toes facing the ceiling. So feeling the left side body get long. You can always lift up a little bit to lengthen and then move into the pose a little bit more deeply. Inhale, lifting up, float the arms up, come through center, turn the chest to look at the left leg. Begin to hinge, keeping especially the right knee and toes facing the ceiling. Coming over that left leg. Feeling that stretch for the right side, the right hip flexor. Silently, I am on your inhales and exhales. Inhale to lift up, floating the arms up, and then lowering, bringing the feet together. So have the heels about 1.5 feet away from the pubic bone. Sit up nice and tall, setting up for Tirasana. So move the feet out a little bit further away. Yep, a little bit more. So this is one forward fold that we round the spine in. So interlace your fingers, wrap them around the feet, take the elbows out wide, drop your crown of the head toward the heels, rounding into this fold. And breathe. So our feet are away from our seat on purpose so that we can fold, getting the stretch for our spine as well as our hips. Different than when we hinge forward. And then inhale to lift up. Take the legs, stretch them out in front of you. Push the big toes away from you. Draw the pinky toes towards you. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, again, reach for the front of the room. Reach, reach, reach. Each inhale and exhale, there's a lengthening of the spine until the point that you're going to round and then lower the hands or fingertips. And maybe if it's comfortable for this forward fold, close the eyes. Let the shoulders soften away from the ears. Feeling the breath fill up the belly, the rib cage, the lungs. And the exhale, lowering the breath down to the belly, the seat, feeling the sits bones rooting down with the earth. Inhale, lifting back up. And then bending the knees, feet on the mat. Walk your feet as wide as your mat. Bring the hands behind and just slowly windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Maybe getting the hip into the movement a little bit. As the knees drop, maybe the hip lifts off the mat a little, or not. And then coming to center, slowly lower down to the forearms. And then all the way to your back. Letting the hands rest on your belly, let the knees fall together. So moving into our final pose, this constructive rest pose. So feet should be as wide as your mat. And then see if you can let the knees fall together. Beautiful. With your hands on your belly, take 3 really deep breaths and hold the breath at the top. Try sighing out through the mouth on a couple of your exhales. Bringing those blessings back into your mind, sending thoughts of gratitude to each person that comes to your mind. Imagine you could breathe directly through your heart. Imagine this is where the air flows in and out of you. Let your breath flow freely in and out through your heart. Let your breath soften you, uncovering layers of you, allowing room for you to unfurl all of you. Your breath tenderly receiving everything it comes in contact with. Welcoming your deepest feelings openly, unwaveringly. Welcoming all your feelings, your joys, and your sorrows. Your breath is a gentle listening space. Your breath listens wholeheartedly to all that it meets. Staying with you no matter what arises, your breath is always present, always listening. Listen to your infinite breath as it flows in and out of your heart. Your breath will teach you how to listen. Listen softly. Listen to yourself as your breath listens to you. Sharing that from Jillian Pransky called Listening Softly. Closing as we began with Loka Samasta, Sukhino Bhavantu. You can keep your knees bent or you can straighten your legs out, whatever's comfortable for you.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Begin to deepen your breath. Invite small movements back in. Wiggling the feet, toes, fingers, circling hands. Floating arms overhead, taking a long stretch. Drawing knees into your chest, rolling on to your right side. Allow yourself to pause here on your right side in this pose. We take comfort in this fetal pose, and think of these words for a moment. Yoga is like music, the rhythm of the body, the melody of the mind, and the harmony of the soul create the symphony of life. By BKS Iyengar. Yoga is like music, the rhythm of the body, the melody of the mind, and the harmony of the soul creates the symphony of life. Begin to make your way up to a seat. And the purpose of yoga, the practice, helping us to grow, evolve, bringing hands to heart center. Just take a moment, bow your head toward your heart. Inhale, gratitude. And exhale, love for yourself, your neighbors, those we know personally, those we don't know. Let's just open the eyes and open the arms out wide. So our friends online feel like we're all reaching each other with a big hug. Deep inhale, bring the hands to heart center. Another inhale, and we'll close with Om. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. So I will be here again Thursday, starting yoga and meditation. We'll offer it online. It's from 9:30 to 10:30. It will include poses that we do typically here, about 20 minutes worth of asana, and the other time will be spent focusing on meditation. Meditation is a practice. Takes practice.
Takes a lot of practice.
So we'll explore guided meditation, silent meditation, all different ways to find that space. But I hope this helped. I hope, I can't tell you how much, I hope that you feel the benefits today as you move through the day and to pass it on to others. Yeah.
It does. Thank you.
Yes, good.
Yeah, it does. It feels like tension in here and feels really good.
Breathing.
Yeah. Relaxed.
Yeah. Good. I was so happy to be with you all today. Sue, I think so. Yeah, I think I don't recall her email because Stephanie sent out an email. Thank you all so much for joining online. See you all.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, Catherine and Deb and Aaron.
Bye now.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, Nancy.
Thanks, Sharon.
Here we go.